Well, howdy. Welcome to Cryptid Caravans. We're hauling in new monsters all the time. I got a snapping turtle here in my creek. Frogman chased it out of the pond. You know, this reminds me of a legend that comes out of Indiana. They got a unique problem down there known as the Beast of Busco, or Oscar to his friends. The beast trawls the lakes of Churubusco, Indiana, a small town about 26 minutes north of Fort Wayne. The creature is said to look like an alligator snapping turtle, exactly like one, except his shell is as big around as a dinner table and covered in spikes. He weighs about 500 pounds and spans 6 foot wide. Woo, that's some serious live action right there, yee-yee! This big old turtle stepped onto the scene in 1898 when he was spotted in the lake of local farmer Oscar Folk. That's where the nickname Oscar comes from. He told other farmers about the sighting, but they just shrugged him off. They figured he was just telling a folk tale. Huh? Deciding the beast wasn't any danger to him, Folk decided to let the turtle be. Well, they'd happily grow old together, like one of them Hallmark movies. And no one would report seeing Oscar for at least another 50 years. The turtle, not the man. This isn't a true crime channel. Yet. It was in July of 1948 that two Churubusco locals, Charlie Wilson and Ora Blue, were fishing in a boat out on Folk Lake when they saw the Busco beast floating on the water before sinking back down. They told the farmer who now owned the property, one Gale Harris, and he immediately started searching for the beast on his own. Vigilantly, he would watch for days, weeks, months, waiting for the turtle to return. Dang, maybe this would make a good Hallmark movie. It was the following year in '49 when he finally spotted the turtle for himself. But what he saw and how that encounter ended is apparently lost to history. Harris took this sighting straight to the newspaper in Fort Wayne, and they sent it out over the national wire, more as a fun fluff piece than hard-hitting journalism. So, you know, typical CNN story. Overnight, the town of Churubusco was in the national eye. People flocked to Folk Lake in hopes of seeing this monstrous turtle. Got so bad, state police had to direct traffic. Town of Churubusco looked like L.A. without the smog. Public opinion started to turn against Harris. They believed he had simply made up the creature. Well, not wanting to be called a liar, Harris set out to trap it. His first attempt was a funnel trap made out of old chicken wire and some wooden stakes. Everyone gathered around to watch with cameras in hand. According to the legend, Harris did have the Busco beast in his trap for a short amount of time, but it was able to break out. It don't surprise me none. I've seen chickens break through chicken wire. And of course, none of the photos survived. Harris, with the help of local mechanic Ken Leach, built several other traps and a periscope that helped them see under the murky lake water. With still no sign of the monstrous turtle, Harris got himself a dive suit. And once they fixed a leak in the helmet, they sent a man down into the lake. Unfortunately, the diver, Walter Johnson, got stuck in the mud before he saw anything. Harris would keep trying other methods even as the months went on and the crowds began to dwindle. He would try to lure the beast out with a lady turtle. When that didn't work, he just started tossing dynamite into the lake. You know, he might be onto something there. Harris had it, and his final attempt to catch that wascally turtle was to drain the whole lake. To cover the price of draining the lake, Harris started charging onlookers an entrance fee. During the emptying of the lake, there was a ray of hope. A duck had landed on the water and was almost devoured by what was believed to be the beast. But it was all downhill from there. The sump pump started sucking up all that muddy pond muck, which promptly clogged up everything. With all of his unsuccessful attempts, waning public interest, and increasing health issues, Harris had to finally admit failure and called off his hunt for the Beast of Busco. While Harris was in the hospital for appendicitis, the dam he built to hold the lake water bust and refilled Folk Lake. Other accounts say a huge rainstorm came in and refilled the whole lake. Either way, the Beast of Busco faded into legend.
Locals who believe Oscar is real usually fall into two camps. Some think he did die during Harris's searches and was buried in the lake bed mud too deep to be found. Others say that when things get too exciting at Folk Lake, Oscar uses the underground waterways to escape to another, quieter local lake.
They reason this is why he hasn't been seen since the 1940s, but it could also be that he never existed.
It is mentioned that Charlie Wilson was known to be a bit of a storyteller, and Harris was of a gullible sorts, so there's a good chance Wilson's encounter was a hoax to tease the old farmer. Churubusco turtleologist Rusty Reed.
With a name like that, I hope he moonlights as a Delta blues musician.
Does pose the idea that Oscar is most likely an alligator snapping turtle. While they usually stick to warmer climates, there is precedent that snappers move farther north as they get older. Still, most alligator snappers weigh in around 230 pounds, not 500. There was an unverified account of a 400-pound snapper found in a Kansas river, though. Reed also mentions that no one saw the whole turtle, just the head.
So the assertion that it's as big as a dinner table doesn't have very strong basis. Nevertheless, the town of Busco loves its Oscar.
Since 1950, the town has held a turtle festival in honor of the Beast of Busco. It has all your average street fair trappings, along with some turtle races.
It's one of the oldest cryptid-centric festivals in America.
They also have a small statue in their town square. A restaurant in Decatur has a big turtle shell on its wall with Beast of Busco painted on. There's a limited print book, Beast of Busco, an American Tradition, about the legend as well.
So the Beast of Busco is another cryptid that's not too extravagant. It's just a really big freaking turtle. But whether he really was in Folk Lake or not, well, that's for you to decide. I just give you the history. There's that little snot right there. Oh, live action. It's just a big freaking rock.